Well, greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. I had a little camera mishap there, then had to go figure everything out, and then the cat was all amused, and it's all exciting. Well, people, grab your hand sanitizer, folks. Order yourself some unicorn meat. Hopefully, unicorn meat is still essential. We're in for an interesting dystopian road. Are we all ready to get going? Before we get really started, a couple little things. First and foremost, we are monitoring on Discord as well. If you are not on the Discord server and you would like to, I set up a nice little short link. I'm dropping that right in the comments there now, so you can check out over there. tlm.li/STLD will get you to the Discord server if you want to be on the Discord server. The other thing is we just today released the free science fiction dystopia called Lockdown. Of course, based on roughly on potential circumstances surrounding current events. And definitely an interesting thing. And that is available over, I put it on the community tab. You can listen to the live reading of it, or if you would like, tlm.li/LD. You'll get a zip file there with an EPUB. You are free to distribute that EPUB wherever you seem to want to put it. I don't care. Send it out on Facebook if you want. But anyway, you can feel free to send that out anywhere that you want. It's unfortunately not going to go up on Amazon because the only way I can make it free on Amazon is to put it in KDP Select, and that means I can't put it anywhere but Amazon, and I'm not playing that game. So I'm going to distribute it on as many of my personal channels as I can, and I will have more links updated as we go. So that is coming on down the pipeline. Let's see, we got Quint Berkeley. Hello, y'all. Greetings, Quint. How's it going, man? We miss you on Thursday, but understand if life's in the way. Moonbase Alpha Grays, how is it going? Me Fang, how's it going there, Me Fang? 13 Tom G, how's it going there? All right. 13G, that's got to be worse than 5G, right? 13G? It's just unlucky. Anyway, I am well indeed. Uh-oh, Moonbase Alpha Grays understands the code. It's the code. Alrighty, let's see. Kitty Cam, what'd I miss? Nothing much. You missed the kitty cam going, wah! Other cam took the camera to play with it. That's right. Let me say double catter. How is it spelled? I'm French. I think I do C-A-T-T-E-R. Catter is kind of a made-up word, so just say however you want it to be. See, can't seem to get back into your Discord. Uh-oh, that's not good. Hello, Mitchell. Greetings, Mitchell. How you doing? Jean, how's it going there? I hope all is well. Let's see. We'll wait for just a few more moments. We have vanilla chai tea today. This is kind of going to be a memory, I think. I'm going to drink liquid memories here. I think the last time I had vanilla chai tea, I was in grad school. Pretty good. I think you can get a French vanilla tea as well, right? I would like to get a French vanilla again. But I'm not a fan of chai tea, but this vanilla chai is not too shabby. Not too shabby indeed. I can't get the variety packs out here that, like, I can get the herbal variety packs, but I can't get the caffeinated variety packs out here, so I just have to buy the large chunks. So I've been buying up my tea collection by buying things. So I have cinnamon stick and this one, and I don't know what I'm gonna buy next, but we'll get something. Hope you make time to make Mario Bros. Accent this time. Louise? Oh man, it's French. Let's see, French. How can I get that going? I don't know. Mario and Louise, well, go ahead and make your pizza. You're going to refuse. All right. Or should we do a little bit slower? I watched Zootopia the other day. I might be saying, ice 'em. What'd you do? You sold me a rug from the butt of a skunk. I buried my grandmama in that skunk butt rug. She made you a cannoli. All right. Things be starting back up for better or for worse. I think we will be fine. If you get a chance, it's real interesting. I'll post a link back to the eye opener for the lockdown stuff. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in your neck of the woods, but if my governor, I've been calling him the werewolf of Harrisburg, if he gets any crazier out there, then I might just pack up and head west, because it's like, okay, so this whole thing's like, let's flatten the curve, right? Dude, our curve is flat. All right. Let me show you how flat our curve happens to be, because conveniently the Weather Channel now gives us the hype. Not only do I go to the Weather Channel to see if it's why in the world it's snowing outside in mid to late April, which it is, been snowing all day. But they also gave us now a wonderful indicator there, right? Do you guys remember how we're talking about flatten the curve? The curve don't get any flatter than that, people. It don't get any flatter than that, okay? It really doesn't get any flatter than that. And the whole state is like that, okay? But still, on Monday, more restrictions are going into place for all of Pennsylvania, including the places that's like, no, but like, okay, my mother's hospital where she works is laying off half of their staff. It's completely empty. Nobody is there. Nobody in the county is sick. I think she said there are 17 people there. One of them is in the hospital. And, Erie, I think there's even fewer cases. I don't know, there might be more. I don't know. I stopped looking at the Johns Hopkins map because it's all fake news anyway. Hopefully, but what happened is the werewolf of Harrisburg got himself involved in a seven governor consortium with the moron in New Jersey that wants to charge you $2,000 and send you to jail if you're not wearing a mask out of your house, and Cuomo, who is simply out there fear-mongering for the sake of nothing. So the werewolf of Harrisburg has been aligning himself with those guys, and if we're ever allowed to walk freely again, I'm going to be surprised. But I hope y'all states are doing better than mine, because if it gets any worse, I'm going to pack up and go out west, because, praise minimalism, I can fit everything I have in a large van. Oh, boy. Let's see. Fox News, cases in California, maybe 85 times higher. That's actually spun around. What happened is in California, a study was done where they said, everybody has this already and is immune to it. Because what they started to do is they started doing antibody tests, and they started doing this massive antibody test, which is one that actually tells you if you're already immune to it. And they said 30 to 50% of the people that they tested are immune to it already. And by the way, the number of cases may be 85 times higher than reported. That's very possibly because most people are asymptomatic. Very interesting. Anyway, should be careful and strategic, but we got to get back to work. Yes, we do. Absolutely, we do. Dem governors, the werewolf, the Whitmer, the filmer. Yeah, all those guys should all be recalled. We should recall them all, people. We should recall them all. Come to North Carolina anytime? Yeah, maybe. I'm looking at West. There's 6 states out West, and I have connections in 3 of them, I think, that don't have any lockdowns at all. They might have a few local things, but those states, like I said, we don't need to do this. This is crazy. In fact, one of them is just as population dense as we are, and they don't have issues either. Cash, I'd pay for a room. Nah, it's fine. Georgia passed a corny law, but there is no penalty. Go home. Yep. Fear 2 in January should produce immunity already. Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and get ready with the news, shall we? Even at 5 times more, it is less or as deadly as the flu. Yeah, it seems to hover around the flu right now. Maybe a little bit higher, like definitely higher if you're older. So like once you cross the 65 age range, the mortality of it goes up to like 5%, which is pretty stinking high. If it was like a 5% mortality around the mass population, I'd be like, guys, we have to lock down. We have to shut down. But it doesn't. Up to 65, it has a 0.01, I think, which is crazy. I mean, it's crazy. Anyway, I don't want to get back on that. I need to get back and doing more articles. I'm feeling the itch. So I might need to just go back and do some more scientific articles on it. See, it turns out to be the common flu, it seems. It's different. It is different. But what happened is there were a whole lot of people who had flu-like symptoms that were testing negative for the flu back in January, and it was causing people to go, what's going on? We don't even understand this. But it passed by. Same thing here in Ontario, Canada. Half the nurses are being told to take care retirement homes. Granted, in my region, KW is at 384 cases, only 14, yeah. I got a job in Alpharetta next month. It can't be done remotely. I'm going to plan to make a trip despite the chaos. Glad no penalties. All right, well, good luck and stay safe, I guess. Let's see. Alrighty, let's go ahead and dive on in, shall we? Let me get another swig of tea here, and that's actually pretty good. I'm sure I can't drink that back to back because I don't like chai tea, but oh well. We'll get there, shall we? All right, what am I doing first? I am doing this one first. And then we're getting into privacy. Oh, we have privacy, business, dystopia, and Sillyville. I decided that I didn't want to do separate human malware sections. That's our word of the day. I didn't want to do separate human malware sections. I just put everything in dystopia, or I sprinkled it into business and privacy, and we'll just kind of downplay the human malware part. But let's go ahead and get there. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome back to Switch to Linux. This is the weekly news roundup and the privacy edition. As we introduce this week's affiliate, I do want to make a correction. Last time we talked about Pro Writing Aid, I had talked about Grammarly's privacy policy. Now, when I had read Grammarly's privacy policy last, yes, they collected and stored and everything and had the ability to do everything because everybody's privacy policy did that at the time. Somebody sent me their updated privacy policy, and Grammarly no longer does that. Because they're not doing that, I might revisit it again, but Pro Writing Aid is today's affiliate. They have always been dedicated to privacy, so it's a Grammarly competitor, and these guys have always, from this time they started, focused on 100% privacy. In fact, it's right about here. Look at that. So if you'd like to use my affiliate link, also my affiliate link comes with a 20% off coupon for your first run of it, tlm.li/PWA for Pro Writing Aid. Any of you guys who are writers. Also, I will say that if you happen to be a writer, I just launched my imprint company for science fiction. So if you are an author looking at writing science fiction based on modern dystopia and technology, definitely let me know. You can reach out to me on any of my channels here. There is a contact form. This is worldwarepress.com, and I have released a promo book for this called Lockdown, based on exciting things. This is completely free. If I remember, I will put a link in it down here. You can head on over to worldwarepress.com, hit the download free button, just grab it. I'm not collecting any data. Take that file, distribute it anywhere, pass it on to all your friends. It doesn't matter. It's completely free. So that is also on my switchtolinux.com community, my Switch to Linux YouTube channel community tab. I also have that linked. So let's go ahead and dive on into the privacy news, shall we? So first and foremost, we get some Alexa. Alexa, order unicorn meat. Order unicorn meat. Confirm. I got to do that right though. Hey Alexa, order unicorn meat. Confirm. There. All right, so now if you have happened to be listening to some Alexa, you will be receiving your batch of unicorn meat probably in a few months, unless it's essential. Who knows when it's actually coming. But Amazon Alexa now gets a new long-form speaking style. So this is basically more natural sounding pauses. I know all about these natural sounding pauses. I am neck deep in editing the audiobook for my next novel, Synaptergy. Actually, it's my first science fiction full-length novel. I am neck deep in the audiobook, and it is painful. I hate doing audiobooks. But what happens is, as you're recording them, you have to space things out differently. There is a different degree of spacing that you do between a sentence, between a comma, between a paragraph, in the natural course of conversation. And you have to be cognizant of all this as you are producing your book. And so Alexa now has a new long-form speaking style that will allow you to have more natural voice reading as you are going through it. So, you know, whatever that happens to be worth. So you guys that do like your Alexa to be talking to you, you might be able to, in the loneliness of lockdown and quarantine, you may actually be able then to have a better conversation with your robots. And, you know, maybe we'll all become, never mind, I'm not going to go there. All right, Apple. Let's see, what was this one about? I'm forgetting why in the world they pulled this. Oh, that's right. Checkpoint. So this is an article here that was looking at the phishing malware target. So people targeting malware, looking at different research things. It turns out that us Apple normies. Us Apple normies are the biggest target. And to be fair, I do run all operating systems. I just use Linux everywhere I can. I have the Mac here because it allows me to monitor Discord while we're recording the news. But with the Apple users are the most targeted among all malware attacks. I think number 2 was Netflix users. And I'm actually keep getting something in one of my junk emails that almost looks like a legitimate Netflix thing, but I've never done anything with Netflix. So I can't tell if Netflix has bought my email address and is spamming me or if it's scammers trying to spam me, but I don't really care about Netflix either. So I don't care. But anyway, looking through this research, they showed 32%, let's see, Verizon's data breach investigations showed nearly 32% of data breaches involved phishing activity. What's more, phishing was present in 78% of cyber espionage attacks. That's exciting. Looking at the top phishing brands, email, Yahoo is the number 1 because if you're using Yahoo, you probably don't know what a web link is anyway. Microsoft is number 2, Outlook number 3, and Amazon number 4. That's actually interesting. I don't think I've ever gotten a spam Amazon one. I have gotten a lot of spam Outlook and Microsoft's. I have never gotten spam Yahoo that I know of. And this is, by the way, I don't have accounts with either of these. As far as web, which is 59% of the attacks, Apple was number 1, Netflix number 2, PayPal, then eBay. Mobile attacks, Netflix, then Apple, then WhatsApp, then Chase. Apparently a lot of people have Chase. And top industry brands, brand industry, technology, then banking, then media. I don't know why people are so hot to get into the technology. You'd think like banking or something might be a little bit higher, but I don't know. So anyway, and here's Netflix fraudulent domain example. So this is Netflix-pageos.com, which takes you to this wonderful guy over here. Here's a Chase login. Woohoo! Welcome again. Look at that. Airbnb, human malware update scan. Look at that guy there. Ooh, view the human malware update. So be aware that all sorts of stuff's coming on down the pipeline. Is this what WhatsApp looks like? I don't know. I never use that crap. All right, so that's exciting, isn't it? That's exciting. So beware if you're an Apple normie. See, every time I pull this Mac open, like I really only use it on these live streams to monitor Discord and for checking to make sure things are working right on websites. Definitely more convenient than my old Mac Mini. Every time though I open it up, I just have this itching to go to Starbucks for a cafe, a frappuccino or something silly like that. I gotta sip my latte. Let me put the cigarette. Ooh, wait. But I don't know. What do you guys think? All right. Google saw more than 18 million daily malware and phishing emails related to human malware last week. Existing phishing scams have been updated to exploit the human malware concerns. So, of course, these are, I'm surprised. There's 18 million. Google actually caught 18. Actually, this wasn't things on the Play Store. This is emails going through the Gmail system. So the things that would have caught on to your different services ended up ended up getting captured and pushed out to the side with these. So, Google did a good job, I guess. On top, that's on top of the more than 240 million daily spam messages it sees related to novel human malware, the company says. Phishing attacks, scams use both fear and financial incentives to create urgency to try to prompt users to respond, Google says. In other words, same email scam, different subject line. That's right. This message seems dangerous. This message seems dangerous, Dave. Let's see. Dear staff, new notification. Oh, look at this. They have the comma in the wrong spot. Please, due to human malware, all staff and employees are expected to kindly click proceed and complete the required directive to be added to the March and April benefit payroll directory as compilation is ongoing in the last 48 hours. That's exciting, isn't it? Let's see. Google says its artificial intelligence powered protection filter out such threats that it blocks more than 99.9% of spam. With how much spam actually gets through, it's a wonder, wow, that's a lot. Good for you, Google. Good for you. And you got to praise Google every now and again. They are doing a good job of keeping the human malware scams out of your inbox, right? All right, a couple stories from Verizon. Verizon's still buying up a lot of stuff. Now, of course, they're not hooking up your internet, but they're still buying up a lot of things. So, Verizon enters agreement to acquire Blue Jeans. That's right, now Verizon is wearing the pants in the ISP industry. No, Blue Jeans is a competitor to Zoom. They're seeing Zoom take off, and now Zoom crashing and burning, and they're like, let's buy a competitor. So they buy Blue Jeans, so they're going to completely crash and burn this one, I guarantee that. So they're buying this up so they can get in on more of these teleconferencing type things. Again, remember people, Verizon keeps on buying up things to produce a very wide data collection and ad targeting things. People are saying, why would they even buy Yahoo? Because Yahoo has a lot of fascinating patents. It's not necessarily, ooh, the company has a bad reputation. It's, does the company have good patents under its belt? And Yahoo does. In fact, Yahoo is the company who holds the patents to do the marketing and advertising like they were doing in Minority Report. Remember the guys walking down the street and the ads would flash directly to him, relevant to him based on his data profile, right? That is the kind of stuff that Yahoo has patents on. That's why Verizon bought them, because Verizon's trying to be a big advertiser data collection. So now they're buying up this video conferencing system that's probably going to gain some support because people are looking for alternatives to Zoom now for reasons we'll talk about in our business section. And they're buying these guys up, and that's kind of concerning because Verizon does not exactly have good reputation for what they're going to be doing with your data. But they are also, they have this new post here called Stop Guessing from Verizon Media's blog. What they're doing here is they're selling an extra service now to marketers where Verizon can detect when you're checking your email, and then what the new service does is when the company buys into Verizon systems, any of the emails that are owned by Verizon, so Yahoo, AOL, and Verizon emails, then the advertiser can buy in, and if the email is managed by one of those, they can say, this is the email we're sending, and they sends it to a proxy to Verizon, and then Verizon detects as soon as you log in, then they will mass deliver all of these emails from all of these marketing companies, so the new email lands in your inbox right at the time you've opened your inbox, which greatly increases your chance of actually reading them. If you log in and there's 30 unread emails, you're going to scan the lists and not do anything. But if you're in there doing stuff and then all of a sudden something pings you, you will much greater chance of clicking that thing and opening it up. And so this is one of these, this is one of their new things that they're doing to sell an extra service to the marketers to make the marketers have more bang for their buck. So what do you guys think of that article? If you've not already, subscribe to the channel. Give me some thoughts, some comments, and things like that in the comments down below. And have a look at the affiliate links. Help support out the channel. So thanks for watching. All right, let's see. One down, one to go. Yes, I'm quoting some Alice Cooper there. All right, Tiger Shark on Discord. If you guys are not on the Discord live chat section. Oh, Tiger Shark, that is a beautiful Bill Gates meme. Sit down, Bill. You couldn't even save Windows from viruses. You guys are unaware, Bill Gates has been running around telling all these world leaders that we have to quarantine everybody until a vaccine is made, even if it takes 2 years. And then their vaccine will come with proof that you've been vaccinated, and he wants to make it so you can only get reintegrated into society if you've had his vaccine, which will basically come with an ultraviolet tattoo on your arm that will prove, they can scan it to prove that you've had that. That's what Bill Gates is doing since he's retired from the board, FYI. Also, FYI, India kicked him out of their country because he was doing all these things, basically using their population for sterilization guinea pigs. I kid you not, people, this is not conspiracy stuff. You can actually look it up. Very interesting. So he's been running around saying we have to quarantine everybody for 18 months until such time, which is why I think Microsoft is having only digital stuff for 18 months. Shocking. He wants everyone to be vaccinated for this virus. So, yeah, sit down, Bill. You couldn't even save Windows from viruses. True that, Tiger Shark. All right, let's see here. All right. Bonjour. Post to people to get to know. Jesus won't wait a day. Seriously, that's right. Recently installed Mint and love it. Very good, Carl. And welcome to the channel, Mr. Carl, if you haven't been here before. You are self-employed. Are you self-employed or work for a company? Who? Me? Oh, that's it, Mitchell. Okay. 33 cases of the human malware in my city. The good news is 25 have recovered. Bad news is 2 are in critical care. Okay, I own an IT consulting company, mostly InfoSec and security stuff, some crypto stuff as well. All right. I watched like 1 billion reviews and finally chose the Ubuntu-based version, looking to switch to Debian-based. Very cool, man. Very cool. Yeah, I would say that if you're just switching over from Windows, then you probably want to go in the Ubuntu-based one to start with because it's going to work a little bit better out of the box. Entire country just hit 20. Woohoo! Truth, we've been spending more time on library than here. That's cool. Is it cleaning up over there? I know that there was, after I did my video, a lot of the people said, hey, we do need to clean this up. How's the progress on that going? Is that going well? Based, Mint and Debian based are both awesome distros. Yep. Huge need for that business environment. I wish I knew more about tech repair. I used to know it well, but last few years I haven't kept up with the new stuff. All right. Have any of you tried Arch? I use Arch on my media PC. I really like Arch. I just don't want to have my main production systems constantly rolling new versions of software. That's why I keep it on a media PC. But I love it being over there because it gives me a chance to explore the new software versions before I put them on my main production system. So I do actually like it. Privacy consulting, also like Arch, but don't need the AUR very often. Hello, Anna Rita. Greetings, greetings. Anna Rita, if you did not see it, the new lockdown ebook is free. Free, Anna Rita. TLI, I can't even say it anymore. It's the Think Life Media. TLM.li/LD. Free ebook, Anna Rita. Go ahead and download that bad boy. And I did read it on the channel earlier today if you missed that. So you can actually go and watch the live stream I did earlier today is actually reading it. So I already have the ebook and the audiobook for lockdown. Although it's not a very good quality on the read-through. But anyway. Okay. She was back in the woods. Anna Rita was hiding back in the woods with Bigfoot. Come on. You guys didn't know that? Welcome back to society. In a long time, been busy. Plus, my web browser choice got screwed up, so my text on streams was not seen by people. Oh, you know what? WaterFox, at least the version of WaterFox I have, will if I leave a comment, it will not work. So that's something with older WaterFox. Newer WaterFox hopefully works. I haven't tested it. But I have also had that problem. So when I want to comment on a live stream video, I actually have to boot into something that's not my WaterFox build. Okay. Okay. Human malware. That's right. That's right. Such a great term. Yeah, that's. I try and change it up. I try and change it up every week. Because I don't want to just all sorts of things. You know, Bill Gates says human malware. I agree. Skyward, wife took 2 weeks off work. It was spring cleaning for me. Do lots of stuff, items. All right. I was teaching me Linux Slackware up and passed away on me 4 years ago. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. All right. So much time to constantly disinfect everything. I feel like I spend half the day just cleaning the house. Hey, I finally cleaned my cupboards today, like the outside of them. I sprayed them all down. I had some spare time. I was waiting for chicken to cook. I went through and sprayed down all my cabinets. No to Google, Microsoft, Apple because they slurp data. Jitsi is a good open source Zoom alternative. Yeah, I think we might have to try going over to Jitsi or something for the supporter stream soon. I think we'll give it a try sometime. All right. Okay, Arch Linux does not get my thumb approval. Mint, Cinnamon, Manjaro, KDE, only one or two that do. There you go. All right. Very cool. We're left with Linux BSD that can't run everything. All right. Yep. Never trusted Yahoo. True, I am tired to death, so no more cleaning for me. And no more news, just chill time with your beloved beer case. Very good. Awesome. What is the circuit behind me? Oh, I've never gotten that question. This is actually a picture of the motherboard from the old HP Pavilion Media Center, XP Media Center computer that I bought in 2005. So that's actually what my background is. Actually a photograph of the motherboard from that computer. Yes, nobody's ever actually asked me that before. Thank you for asking. Let me know if you need the link. I will go ahead and post it again. Okay. Gates want to sell a vaccine for making billions. Yep. Gates just applied for a patent for a tracking device to be put under skin. Yep. Did you see the email? I hope you did. When did you send it? I have not seen one lately. If it was the one about not needing to send you a physical copy of the book, that's okay. I mean, I'll send you one. You did beta reading for me, so I will gladly send you a copy of the book. That was part of the deal. If you want it, just let me know. I even have the custom form already because I have 2 people from Canada finished it, and I had to get custom forms, so I already have the custom form. Okay, John Kennedy Jr. pointed out vaccines and Bill Gates Foundation track record in India. Yes, look at some of that stuff. Very interesting. Anyone else think the social distancing stuff is completely insane? Yes, me, this guy right here. I'm going to respect it out there because I'd rather have to stay 6 feet away from people in the grocery store than tell them not to, but I did not go into my favorite grocery store today when I was out getting my errands done because they had a bread line. And I'm going to call it a bread line. I'm not waiting in a bread line to go to the grocery store. So I went to the other grocery stores that I really don't like very much because they didn't have bread lines. County, not country. I don't know. I may install Kubuntu alongside MX Linux on the same boot drive. Installed Linux Mint. All right. Library has some questionable stuff still. All right. Okay. Frosty Flake. Seriously, I'm going to give Mint a try. Very good. Very cool. All right. Free ebook. Yeah. Let me know if you need the link for that. Okay. I got the malware. No. Comparing Linux Mint with Kubuntu is like comparing apples and oranges. Hey, I mean, there's valid reasons. I don't want to dump on anybody's distro. Hey, first in line to get microchipped. I totally trust Microsoft. Yeah. Do I follow Big Daddy Linux lives? Not really. Every now and again. It's a lot of it. It's simply because Saturday is my day to avoid the computer. After I do my live stream, like I do a live stream at 12:30 p.m. After that live stream is done, I avoid computers until like Sunday night. So I don't, just because of the fact it's on Saturdays, and I just don't stare at computer screens on Saturday. It's like my day off. Saturday and Sunday are my day off from the computers. But otherwise, it's a good, very informative show. But no, I don't follow it. Although I should probably just catch the reruns, but I don't. All right, thanks for the work you put into your review videos. They are helpful. Dump Windows and Linux on my production daily driver. Awesome, very cool, man. Congrats. I actually had to, I was working on something for, I'm relaunching my Christian website very soon, and I was getting something was not working right, and I actually could not even get the error duplicated on my old web development computer, so I had to use the Linux web development computers to fix the site. It's like, oh boy, it's getting this way. What is breadlines? You remember harkening back to the old breadline days when nobody had anything. You had to stand in line for the government to issue your handouts. Well, I go to Wegmans today, and there's a line to get into the store. I'm like, no, bro, I'm not standing in line to go into Wegmans. I end up paying probably twice as much as I wanted to for the groceries, but I'm not standing in line to go into Wegmans. I mean, I like Wegmans. I'm not standing in line to go into Wegmans. Here, libraries are closed, but do curbside pickups. All right, social distance still observed. All right. Display switcher widget, let's see, on KDE is quite useful. Think of the ones you always want to stay at least 2 meters. Yeah, that's right. Do enjoy videos. Well, thank you, Daniel. I always appreciate that, my friend. All right, let's see. I spent 30 minutes on an hour checking out groceries and 1 hour in the bank. Oh, boy. Did you ever meet Linus Torvalds? No, I've not. Still trying to figure out how to make the plasma panel and start menu semi-transparent. You know what? I have not actually done that, but I'm guessing it's going to be inside the CSS files. That's kind of where you want to go. I have downloaded some. I've only been on Big Daddy Linux a few times, but I certainly plan to join for the Ubuntu 2004 discussion. Oh boy, I should go join for the 2004 discussion, shouldn't I? Huh? That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Okay, don't mind waiting, but next time I'm bringing my own folding chair and peanuts. All right, shall we dive on into business? Let's go ahead and dive on into the business news. Why do I not have an A2 hosting? I thought I had an A2 hosting banner. Okay. All right. I do. It's just not the right banner. All right. Let's get ready for some corporatocracy news, shall we? Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the business edition. And before we dive on in, if you are in need of a web host for a small business website or maybe a personal website or any other type of website, head on over to my affiliate, tlm.li/A2H for A2 hosting. This is where I host all my clients' servers as well. They do get you free SSLs on all the different plans. Excellent prices, and the longer you pay up front, the cheaper your price happens to be. Purchasing a hosting through the affiliate link there will help me out. And if you are in need of a website or a web developer, you can consider talking to me, maybe. I actually have been a freelance web developer for quite a long time. My business is called Western Mountain Web, westernmtnweb.com. You can reach out to me over there. Pardon for the fact that my website has not been updated in a while, but I'm like a mechanic with an old car. Ever notice how the mechanics have the crappiest looking cars, but they're running just fine? Same with my website. I actually do mostly specialize specializing in CMS systems, webmaster management, and things like that. So if you are in need of a website, consider Western Mountain Web as well, especially since this crazy day of insanity. Like everyone else, a lot of my clients are furloughed until further notice, so but anyway, we're doing just okay. But if you do need a website, consider that. All right, let's go ahead and dive on into the business news. From 9 to 5 Mac, Zoom lets users opt out of Chinese servers as other stuff has occurred. We'll get into that the second line of that headline. We'll get into that next. But if you are a paying customer for Zoom, you're like, I don't know where my stuff's going back and forth. It could be going through the Chinese servers, whatever else. I don't know what's going on. Well, if you pay for using Zoom, you can choose which countries your conferences go through. Isn't this amazing? So you can kind of choose. So if you're like, I can pay money and have a little bit more confidence that the Communist Party of China is not watching my meetings, okay? So every one of the Zoom customers can now choose where they're going to. But there is a downside, is that 500,000 Zoom accounts were sold on a hacker forum on the dark web. So you can prevent the Chinese people from spying on you actively, but you might have your account sold to the Chinese people on the dark net anyway. So it's one of these things, it's kind of like playing Russian roulette. Do I want to get hacked more directly by giving Zoom my information, or should I get hacked less directly by having my credentials on the dark web somewhere? So you need to decide for yourself which one of these you would like to happen to do. And with that being said, though, that's all we want to talk about Zoom. Of course, we did a whole video on Zoom a couple weeks ago. You guys using Samsung's older voice assistant, Samsung's S-Voice? S-Voice, is this the one before? Is it Bixby is what Samsung's using now? Well, if you're still on the S-Voice is going to, on June 1st, 2020, probably right about the time, it's going to have this glorious escape from lockdown. It's going to be like, I'm free! And then your Samsung S phone will die after a June 1st quarantine is over. Of course, I don't know. We'll be in quarantine for the rest of our life, but just keep that in mind. If you are using that, it will cease functioning in June. Amazon pauses new grocery signups and hires another 75,000 workers. Of course, smaller businesses can't be open. The government's like, you have to close down. But we can social distance. We don't care. We're going to be tyrants and put you all out of business, make you all suffer, and then lend you money that, by the way, those loans, you're going to have to be paying those back. FYI, they're not grants. So smaller businesses have no customers because they really can't. In fact, this is the saddest tragedy about all this kind of stuff. Walmart has the least restrictions. They're not having the bread lines go into the stores. They're not being crazy. So unfortunately, in the midst of all this crisis, despite I'd rather shop at the smaller independent stores, I'm finding myself at Walmart more often than not because it's the only place that I can go and get things that I kind of need around the house. But sure, if I don't get it, I won't die. But at the same time, so unfortunately, I am supporting Walmart. I mean, how do we know that this entire lockdown quarantine mess isn't just a scam from the big global national companies to shut down all of their competitors? Because all these smaller businesses that I otherwise would be able to very safely get orders through, I can't deal with any of those, but Amazon's hiring 75,000 more workers to abuse like serfdom slaves. And, the rest of us can't get anything. But, in fact, they're getting so many people they have to pause new signups for the service until they hire their 75,000 more slaves, beat them into submission until they're like little drones just doing to and fro, and then they'll turn things back on. So, and I do like Amazon right up there. If you do want to help support the channel, where's it at up there? I do have an Amazon affiliate link. I do, unfortunately, use Amazon as well. Of course, Amazon is slashing in half most of their affiliates, so all of us that do use Amazon affiliates will see less money coming through for them. Yay! Hopefully that's temporary, but I don't know. Anyway, but if you do happen to use Amazon, consider using my Amazon affiliate link. That also helps out the channel. All right, full disclosures and all. All right, so people are baiting Instacart workers with huge tips and then slashing them to zero. So, some people are slimy, I'm telling you what. So the idea here is with Instagram, you can say, hey, I'm going to give a much higher tip, and this will allow somebody to jump in and take your order ahead of somebody else's. Somebody like, oh, this guy's giving a bigger tip. So they'll go get their order very quickly, and then they'll deliver the groceries, no problems, no anything, and then the people will just slash the tip down to zero. So they're calling it tip baiting. So what happens is Instacart allows users to adjust the tips 3 days after the delivery. So on day 3, I can be like, nope, cut the tip down to nothing. Now, Instacart, I might have said Instagram earlier, my apologies. Instacart they've responded by saying, well, they're setting the default to be whatever the last tip amount was you had. And so it wasn't a matter of, it's not a matter of going in and having to set an amount of tip. They're just saying whatever the last tip you had was. But of course, if your last tip was zero, it's probably going to stay at zero. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? This is why, for me, guys, we're in the middle of this. If we're supposed to be like, be more careful about this kind of stuff, the last thing I want is for a stranger to be going to the store, getting my groceries and dropping them off at my house. That's the last thing I want. I mean, I'm not even really sure I like the let's go to Walmart and order the pickup and the customer pickup. I mean, they had a really dirty looking, drooling guy putting together Amazon or Walmart orders today. I mean, he was dirty and nasty and smelly, and he was the one out walking with a scanner filling people's orders. I'm like, ugh. It's just like, have a little hygiene. If you're going to be the one walking through the store collecting food orders for people, have a little hygiene, please. Walmart, would you please tell your employees that are fulfilling the orders to have a little bit of hygiene, especially if they're roaming around amongst the rest of us zombies? I did though see at a grocery store the other day, I saw one of the most creepy, like somebody had the full mask and everything on, but they had this Hawaiian witch doctor mask on top of it. It was like the craziest thing. I turned the corner and I thought it was gonna get cursed or something. In fact, I had a very bad, intense feeling of deja voodoo. Deja voodoo is that unmistakable feeling that this witch doctor has cursed me before. All right, whoa, where's my green screen? Is so stopped cooperating. Cooperate, green screen, cooperate. There we are. My big green screen's back. So anyway, yes, I was almost cursed by a witch doctor in a grocery store the other day because, hey, why not? Human malware. Okay, what do you guys think? And on to our feature story today. Valorant anti-cheat software loads kernel-based driver on system boot. So how far will you go to play a video game? Will you allow the anti-cheating software to load on boot up on your computer at the kernel base? FYI, that will allow escalation to all levels of your system. What is it doing? So here is the least privileged, ring 3. The kernel is the most privileged. Device drivers usually split at ring 1. There's also some device drivers at ring 2. Ring 3 is applications. The anti-cheat software here is right down here with the kernel. Does that make you feel comforted when you are playing your games? That's a little terrifying because the software is probably going to have security vulnerabilities and things, and this allows root access to it. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know about all those things. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Leave us some likes, leave us some comments, and we will see you next time. All right, we are on to Dystopia next, folks. We are on to Dystopia next. All right. Okay, let's see what we got here. Prefer to get chipped by Ubuntu than Microsoft. I'm with you on that one. Of course, if Microsoft buys Canonical. When Ubuntu 20.04 is released, there are going to be so many choices and flavors. Very good. If it gets hot weather, you might be a sunscreen and hats. Bring a sunscreen and hat. There you go. Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Does he still do an earlier one, though, for the UK version? I thought he did a European version as well. Ubuntu and Ubuntu DDE are probably going to be the most popular. What's a good weather app for Mint? There is actually a Desklet that I have installed on my Linux Mint web design computer that's actually very good. That's actually one to look at, I think. It's just one of the weather desklets inside the Desklet applications. I can't remember the name of it. Zoom renamed to Doom. Nice. Yeah, no more Chinese servers. What else is new? Yeah. Let's talk about independence for Taiwan, and China will want nothing to do with you. There you go. Well, also, if you talk about independence for Taiwan, Blizzard wants nothing to do with you either. I think, well, don't have a Zoom account. It's a blessing to have a boring life. Yeah, like, I have a Zoom client on a flat pack on one computer that if somebody needs to Zoom me, hey, I'll tell people, yeah, I'll use Zoom if you want, but I don't have an account and I'm not making one. I got my food by curbside pickup being $2.66. I might catch the human malware. Ooh, yeah, that would be bad. Sometimes you got to make a deal with the devil. Walmart, yeah. Well, right now, I don't really have any other choices. I was very pleased that the Tractor Supply Company was open because I've been running low in kitty litter for a while, and I used equine pellets from the Tractor Supply Company. I was very happy to see that they were open today. Social distancing, of course, lines, things all over the place. Of course, the grocery stores I went in today, Walmart now started, they started, you have to go through the aisles in a certain format. It's like, how submissive can they make us be? I want to go the wrong way down the aisle just to be a nonconformist. I mean, come on. In Canada, saying people can pay your utilities at a later time, say, no, thank you, I'd like to pay my bills on time. Yeah, that's right. Welcome, please, the new will. Oh, yes, will you welcome, please, the new world order? That's right. That's right. Get your hand sanitizer, people. Get your hand sanitizer. Fortunately, I didn't have to use Wegmans' crappy hand sanitizer because I wasn't waiting in a bread line to go to the grocery store. Especially we got like 8 grocery stores in town. Okay, I'm gonna find a grocery store without a bread line. And of course, we used the pandemic to starve out all their competition. What's crazy? Yeah. Come on. Some of those bills are in deferral. Wait, after 6 months, they will charge high interest. Or I mean, even if they don't charge high interest, what if happens in 6 months and they go, your balance is now due, and it's like $3,000? It's like, are you kidding me? Okay, here's the thing. If the governments really want to demonstrate how good this is, then if any business cannot do business, no business can do business. How's that for a thought? Now, before we go, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? Here's the thing. So many people, in fact, 22 million people have applied for unemployment up to now. By the way, the Great Depression was 20. We have surpassed the Great Depression at this point in time. Okay, so here's the thing, though, is with that, a lot of those people are out of work. The bank is still asking for mortgage payments. The landlords, like, I rent this place. Do you think they're giving me a break on rent? Nope. They'll be like, well, we won't charge you late fees. Even if they say we can defer it, well, as soon as things are going to open, they're going to ask for all the back rent immediately. It's just better to stay on top of it. Now, any governor who signs a quarantine law breaks his oath to the people of the United States. Yeah, I agree. It should be exactly what the president has done. Recommendations. These are recommendations. Let me choose if I want to follow the recommendations or not. That should be my choice. And, an FYI, it should be everybody's choice. So if you're a 70-year-old person at high risk of this illness, you have to choose to say, I'm sorry, you can't visit me right now. Until I know for a fact that you're good, or we're going to be very, very cautious if you do. Okay, that's the thing. I want the choice. I want the real information and the choice. To people, what wrong with people these days? Yeah, I don't know. Texas is trying to reopen the economy while human malware cases in Dallas are still skyrocketing. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing is that a lot of the people, in fact, here in Pennsylvania, the state and the state, House, and Senate are united in reopening the economy on a jurisdiction per jurisdiction level. The werewolf of Harrisburg is like, nope, one size fits all. We have counties, like look at whatever county Warren is in. I forget which one that is. Dude, there is nothing there except the city of Warren and a bunch of woods. There is no risk for nothing up there. They should be able to open up. The same with Tioga County. Tioga County has like 7 tiny towns that don't even have grocery stores. Let them open and be as open as they want to be. There's nothing going wrong up there. Okay? The big cities like Philadelphia should have a little bit of lockdown and stay at home and be a little bit safer. Pittsburgh, probably the same thing. Center County, where I'm at right now, dude, our town can easily hold 250,000 people, but since nobody's at the university, our town only has like 50,000 in it right now. There's no reason the rest of our town can't be open. We are running at a fifth of our typical capacity. There's no reason not to reopen. And so what they're trying to do, and you hear about, they're trying to open the whole thing, Dude, here's the thing. What they're trying to do is say each jurisdiction needs to choose whether it's safe for that jurisdiction open. If you've never been through Texas, it's a big flipping state. Okay, I used to have to drive down to Austin for conferences when I was selling academic software. It would take me a day to drive to the Texas border and another day to drive where I needed to drive to the Texas border, and that was just the center of the state. Okay, it is desolate, and you're driving through desolate areas with tiny towns, with almost nothing, with no risk, no danger. You cannot let a big city like Dallas wag the rest of the state. This is the serious problem with the political leanings. You get the whole Colorado. Denver is completely different than the mindset of the rest of the state, but Colorado is wagged in political views on the state level by the liberals in Colorado. In Denver, okay? Now, what they're doing is they're pushing laws for the whole state that the majority of the state don't agree with. Just that one city does. It's better if that city manages itself and let the rest of the state manage itself. That's what they're trying to do in Texas. Open up the parts that it's safe to open, keep the places closed that are safe to close, because what they're doing in the werewolf of Pennsylvania is doing right now, the werewolf of Harrisburg, what he's doing here is one size fits all. One size doesn't fit all. If you've never been through Pennsylvania, there's places with big bursting cities and there's places of complete desolation. There's no reason to have a one size fits all in the state of Pennsylvania. And that's what's going on. Law, anyone who enters a person's house has to be bonded. Yeah. Okay. Oh, look at the grocery store myself. Feel like the melons. LOL. Old fashioned. Anything my wife made. There you go. Get better taste in games. You won't have to deal with this garbage. There you go. Valorant probably won't done on Linux because the Proton won't support it. Yeah. Microsoft buys Canonical. I stopped using Ubuntu. Yeah. I missed out on, but what flavor of Arch do you use? I'm using Arch Labs and Cinnamon, but I also have GNOME installed on it, but I usually use Cinnamon. Flatpak hosted on GitLab, owned by Microsoft. Yeah. Discord will not let me log in to save my life. Uh-oh. Is there a button to, like, remember your password? MS buys Canonical. I wonder how Kubuntu and Mint will be effective because they are community projects. Mint at that point might just abandon the Ubuntu version. Big Daddy Linux is once a month for the European followers. All right, cool. Just say I'm unimpressed with Little Caesar's pizza. Their pizza's never been really good, but their breadsticks are amazing. Okay, just barely edible. I agree, it's barely edible. It's not bad, but it's pizza. Barely edible pizza is still all right, you know. Okay, purchased a box of 50 exam gloves at Walmart this morning. I think I got like 8 or 10 gloves. I don't know. I use them when I make soap. I'm not wearing gloves out in public, okay? You realize most people wearing gloves out in public are not even wearing gloves right, okay? Wearing gloves in public doesn't protect you. Because you're still touching your face and doing all the other things and not thinking about it. And then it makes you overconfident because you're wearing gloves. No. I wear gloves when I'm cleaning stuff with heavy chemicals and when I'm making soap. That's when I wear gloves. Saw an expression by a protest person say a mask is not a muzzle. I like that. There you go. Kind of heartbroken tonight. Oh no. Don't be heartbroken. I mean, if you can't get into Discord, just spin up another email account and create a new Discord account. There's a solution. Lack of information was being released indicates worst case scenario. That's the thing. We don't have the information, and all of the models are using are all worst case. But the news media doesn't understand that, and so they're spinning everything like, this is just around the corner. This is going to happen. They've been saying this is going to happen for 6 weeks. It ain't happened yet. Germany's arresting people for not staying home. Yeah, Hitler did that too. Oh, I'm sorry. The commander of the mid-1940s German army. All right, I'm in the middle of nowhere, and people are calling for an incremental opening, and I'm being told they're crazy since people from lockdown areas are going to come to open areas. So, if they're sick, let them stay home. That's the thing. I want to give up a little bit of security to have freedom. Today, very clear, just in time. 810 miles across I-10 in Texas. Yep. Okay, FYI, Pennsylvania, 200 miles. Crossed I-80. It might be like 250. I think it's 200, though. All right. Like me, who prefers to stay at home all the time, this lockdown is no big deal. Yeah, I mean, and I agree with you. I don't leave the house a lot either. I mean, I work from home, everything. I get out and walk, but I want the freedom to be able to do that. That's the thing. Germany is always arresting, even waving a national flag. Yeah. Cities generally have more people than rural areas. That's why they should have more political power. Well, here's the thing. But what happens in a city is not indicative of what happens in the country. The city definitely should have more power to govern within its borders and its cities. Like, take, for example, gun laws in using the example of Colorado and Denver. I completely understand the people in the city of Denver really not wanting people to carry around. But if you leave the city of Denver, if you've never been in Colorado, it's completely desolate. There's no reason that a gun ban should be in the whole state of Colorado just because the people in Denver say gun ban, Let's see. I agree. We people out in the boonies don't need a strict lockdown. Most people are going about normally. Governors and mayors are going overboard, have violated the Constitution, and need to be investigated. I agree. I use Links Mint, Deputy Edition, and Pepper. Very cool. All right. There is cheesy bread far away, but terrible for you. Of course it's terrible. I don't wear masks, gloves, or anything in public. I just think it looks silly. That's right. Starting Monday in Pennsylvania, they're strongly encouraging grocery stores to not let people in without masks. So I bought a month's worth of groceries. Work in the big cities in the world, and I have a farm in the countryside. When I travel back and forth between cities and the farm, it feels like a different planet. Yeah, absolutely. Well, these gloves and a mask when I'm play doctor and patients with a ooh. Insight, Anna Rita, insight. Have fun with that. Is there any other aliens that will grant my wishes? I don't know. Talk to Moonbase Alpha Grays. They might. Okay. Anyone got Linux? Moonbase Alpha Grays, though, you need to know that CJ rejected all of his requests. Just an FYI. You have to leave your church again. That's not good. Why's that? Well, don't tell me here necessarily, but... All right. Wasn't easy. Could be wrong. No distro works on a Surface Pro out of the box. Louisiana and Texas have the best gun laws if you like fully automatic. There you go. All right. Let's go ahead and dive on into our, what do we got next? We got Dystopia news next. Are we ready for Dystopia? Are we ready to be scared out of our wits? Get scared out of our wits. I need to do something different with my banners real quick. Hold on a sec, folks. I need to do something different with my banners. Alrighty. Replace that guy. All right, make sure that still works. And I need this one here. Welcome back to the weekly news roundup and the dystopian edition. Well, today, before we dive on in, I want to remind you I have a science fiction book coming out in May 12th is our target date. Audiobook might be later than that, but ebook and print book should be right around that time. I'll keep you guys up to date. That is Synaptergy, synaptergy.com or tlm.li/s. Get more information. The orange Get Updates here is the mailing list if you would like to get updates when that is coming out, and I will probably send out some coupon codes prior to that arriving. You can go ahead and click on that guy there. On that same tune, I have actually just also released a free ebook, and I'll have the link for that down below. That is called Lockdown. You can find it also on the community tab on the YouTube channel. Let's go ahead and dive on into the news now, shall we? See what dystopianness is going on. All right, so Facebook will now add propaganda to your newsfeed if you happen to look at fake human malware news. Very interesting indeed. So what happens here is if you're looking at what they consider to be fake news regarding the human malware situations going around, you're like, that's interesting, that's interesting, that's interesting. Facebook now detects this and starts feeding you misinformation, aka propaganda, into your timeline. So if you're watching this kind of stuff and then all of a sudden you just start seeing all sorts of things that's like Facebook, like, this is all for your protection, this is all for your protection, this is all for your protection, then know that Facebook is now propagandizing you. And so, of course, you know, what is this information? In fact, I just saw an article or a video before I started the news today from Viva Fry, who is a Montreal lawyer. And up in Canada, they are kicking around the idea of having laws against human malware misinformation, or what he calls the My Sharona Cyrus news up there. And one of the things that he said in there is, well, what do you mean by, quote, fake news? Because he showed the early tweets from The Who back in January, right? Not Tommy and the Pinball Wizard, but the WHO, the World Health Organization, saying, hey, there's no evidence for human-to-human transmission. And then they're like, hey, masks don't do anything. And then now everyone needs to wear a mask. And now it's like, what are you guys doing? The Surgeon General even told people don't wear masks early on, if you guys remember. And I'm still listening to the early Surgeon General, not the late Surgeon General, just an FYI. But nevertheless, what constitutes fake news? If fake news is anything against the narrative, that is a huge problem. Huge problem. Because we have to challenge and question and make sure that we are actually validating things. We can't just listen to the main propagandizing central news legacy media and go, this is exactly it. You're going to be like this. I know, because there's all sorts of people like this in our country right now. You guys got to turn off the news. This is a true story. A friend of mine's mother was like this. Finally, he finally kept telling her, you need to stop watching the news, Mom. And she eventually just turned it to normal and no big deal and not panicking because she stopped watching the news. People, stop watching the news. They're feeding you a narrative, not giving you truth. All right? All right. Now, also, though, Facebook is now, do you guys remember, is this not a weird conspiracy to get everybody into all the digital stuff? I mean, here in the United States, we're still good, but in a lot of places around the world, they're not taking cash anymore. It's got human malware on it. Human malware. And So they're using this to push everybody there. Notice that now in my state in Pennsylvania, the governor wants to say, despite the curve is flattened, people. The curve is flattened, all right? In fact, it's going down at this point in time. And still, more cases, more draconian measures are going to be instituted next week. They're like, stores don't let people in unless they're wearing a mask. But if they order online, you can do a curbside pickup. I'm sorry, I'm not giving my information to Wally World or any other grocery store that there can be an ongoing record of what I'm buying and then forcing me to pay with digital money. It ain't happening, Bubba. It ain't happening, all right? And so with all of this, now Facebook is promising UK health officials over 2,000. It's curiously, it's not 2,000. The number is 2050. I don't know why 2050 was selected, but they're promising 2,050 portal devices. Remember that this is Facebook's ultra mega camera microphone spyware equipment. And what they're doing is, this is going to help reduce loneliness and improve telehealth. Oh, that's all I want. To have a portal in my home that Facebook has all of my health data and it's always watching me and I give it all of my symptoms. Because no, I don't really want Facebook to have all of these symptoms. I don't want any of these big companies to have all of my data. Big data has no business having my health information. I choose not to participate. I'm sorry, I don't want the mark of the beast. I've read the book. The mark of the beast is bad, okay? And anything that looks like this is kind of looking like this. But anyway, Facebook's coming in and they're kind of working with the health officials to make sure all these people can have these things because, we're all isolated. We got to have connections. I got news for you people. Nothing beats a hug. Nothing beats spending time with your actual family. And you know what? It should be our choice whether or not we want to take the risk. We need to have truthful information so we know who's actually at risk and who's not actually at risk. And then we need to have the personal choice and freedom to have those risks for ourselves. All right, but the dystopia continues because now Apple and Google, isn't it kind of shocking? There's really only two options you have for phones, Apple and Google. And they're doing a rare collaboration on contact tracing. Now, if you want to read my free ebook, Lockdown, they use contact tracing to throw our main character. I'm not going to complete that sentence. You'll have to read the book. And it's all free. I'll link down below. And the importance of this, this is so important. The idea behind contact tracing is that your phone will be able to keep a record of all of the other phones in proximity to it. And so if one person's like, I've come down with human malware, pushes a button, now everybody else whose phone has had contact could be made known of this. Now, in some instances, that data could go right on up to health officials, and the health officials might come and knock on your door and tell you that you have to quarantine, or you have to take this shot, or you have to get this test, or you have to do these things. Okay? But what they're trying to do, notice how we've whittled down the market to just two. So we basically have a corporatocracy here, an oligarchy, if you will. And now these two are working together to be able to tell which phones came in proximity to which other phones over the course of a 30-day period of time. Now, what I find most disturbing about this, and I believe it was near the bottom of the article, I will have to find it again. Of course, here's how this works. Let's go ahead and look at how this works. Bob and Alice don't know each other, and they have a 10-minute conversation because they were bad people and they were not socially distancing. Bob is positively diagnosed for human malware and enters the system via the Public Health Authority app. Alice and Bob's phones exchange privacy and preserving anonymous identifying beacons. Yeah, right, they do. A few days later, with Bob's consent, for now, his phone pushes the last 14 days of keys for broadcast beacon to the server. Ooh, all of this stuff is on a central server, by the way. Alice's phone periodically checks the broadcast beacon keys to see if anyone has tested positive for human malware, and Alice sees a notification with a link to more information. Alert, you've recently come in contact with someone who has tested positive for human malware. Tap for more information. And so now, sometime later, she's going to receive the notification so she can get more information, all this kind of stuff. So this is what Google and Apple are doing. Now, remember, this is all just to flatten the curve. This is all just this is all temporary, right? What I find interesting, though, is when you go actually down, I think it's down to the very bottom of the article, I will actually have to do a keyword for the word app, because you got to see this, and it might be the next article too. I can't remember exactly if it's this article or the next article. But what I find most interesting, and I want you guys to see this to believe it, they're talking about this is for built-in apps. So you have to just use an app for this. But if it's so temporary, the thing I find problematic is they're saying that eventually it's going to be baked into the system. It must be the next article. So I have 2 articles on this. It's got to be the next article. Let's go ahead and double check this article. Let's go looking for the word app. It's near the very bottom of one of these 2. And what they're saying here, let's see. Okay, so this is the paragraph here. Apple and Google plan to release iOS and Android programming interfaces in May. They will be available to the public authorities for developing apps running on the mobile operating system to work with apps running on the other. The official apps will then be available for download in Apple's App Store and Google Play. Okay, so this is the apps. Eventually, the companies plan to introduce tracing functionality directly into the OSs. Presumably, users can activate the functionality with a setting change. So, if this is a temporary measure, why, pray tell, are you baking this contact tracing feature into the OS itself? Does that not seem like it's an excessive amount of information to be keeping and storing? Now, of course, they promise when this crisis is over, we will dismantle this network. Oh, yeah, I believe that. But nevertheless, if that's ultimately your goal, the best thing is to keep this as an app and not in an underlying system. So that's what Apple and Google are doing. So they got us whittled down to 2 phones, and now they're going to want you to do this. So this news is enough that I'm finally being dedicated enough to keep Bluetooth turned off on my devices. Even though I'm fairly safe running Lineage on my device, but still, nevertheless. Of course, speaking of Apple, Apple makes the mobility data available to aid human malware efforts. So Apple, the privacy company, now is all of a sudden releasing all sorts of data. Now, according to all the information here, they actually, when the data is actually stored about location data, there's nothing that can tie it back to the phone. I'm not sure if I completely believe them or not, but at least that's what they're telling us. So the idea here is, though, you can go into the maps, and I think they have the map over here. I think this is the map. So I think you can go into this map here, and you can type in a city. So like looking at New York City, what they're doing is they're seeing that driving is down 53%, walking is down 75%, transit is down 87%. So these are kind of the baselines and things. I'm not sure what's up with all these spikes. I don't know if that's daily or whatever else that is. You can see how much it dropped down. What this represents to me is a massive drop in economy. Now, before you're like, oh my God, you went over the economy. Let me tell you something. More people die of suicide, malnutrition, and other things as a result of poverty than will die of human malware. I promise you. Promise you. But you can type in your individual city up here. It only has major cities. So let's see if we do have Philadelphia. Let's see what Philadelphia looks like. Pretty much all the same. Is Pittsburgh in here? Of course not. Pittsburgh's not a big enough city. Erie's definitely not going to be in here. The Werewolf of Harrisburg is not in here, but you can go ahead and check these out. But I do find it interesting that it does indeed turn out that Apple does actually have a lot of mobility and other type of data that I've been kind of saying in the past. If you can believe them, then they do strip out all of that data, so it's not possible. But I don't know. What do you guys think? And on our last story in Dystopia today, Amazon must continue limiting shipments to the essentials in France. So in other words, a court order in France is telling Amazon you can only ship essential things. The question is, what is an essential thing? Because essential is a broad meaning. I mean, an essential thing could very well be anything. I mean, anything could be essential, people, depending on what you're doing. I mean, if you're really hungry, a can of unicorn meat is essential. Getting some unicorn meat is essential. Depending on what you're doing with it, anything can be. A coloring book can be essential if you're cooped up inside your house for 6 weeks straight and you have children and they're bouncing off the walls and you're trying to get them something to keep them calm. A coloring book can be essential. But a baseball bat can be essential because you need to get out. Of course, just don't get out and play t-ball with your own family in an empty park. You'll get arrested. But, a baseball because getting outside and getting healthy activity. In fact, one of the science articles that I read today is a pleading to not stay indoors so much because you're compounding potential infections, which is true. If you get outside, this is why illnesses in general die out in the summer. When more people are outside, more people engaging in outdoor activity. Buying your kid a baseball and a bat is an essential thing for their health. The problem that Amazon's having with the French courts is they don't have a clear definition of what they can and can't sell, so they keep on fighting back and forth about it. They will be fined heftily on this. But here's the thing. This is the type of stuff that we're starting to see in some other places where certain products are being limited. Of course, in my town, several stores are closed down because they're considered not essential because they don't have essential foods and products and things like this. And all it's doing is it's enriching the global national companies while the small businesses go out of business. So this is kind of problematic, and you can't even, so it started with, hey, you can't go to the local store, you can get your stuff online. Well, now it's getting to the point where we can't even get non-essential things delivered to us anymore. This is a fundamental problem. And so we are getting more dystopian as we go along. Let me know, guys, what you think in the comments down below. All right, we got one news section left, and that is Sillyville. We got 3 articles in Sillyville. All right, let's see our comments up here. Okay. Oh, one of the things over time. Let's see. I don't have comments on meat plants closing. Well, meat's kind of essential. In fact, here's the funny thing too. According to the research, one of the health markers that will determine how well you can handle human malware is your glycemic load, like the amount of sugar in your blood. And the American diet is hyperglycemic by nature. If you eat what the American diet tells you to eat, you have elevated blood sugar levels and you're generally less healthy. If you eat more meats, more saturated fats, things like that do not have any carbs at all, your glycemic levels drop down to almost nothing. You're perfectly healthy because your body can produce enough sugar to sustain itself perfectly out of the fat stores. You're going to be burning fat, you're going to be leaner, and you will have less susceptibility to the virus. That was from the latest, I think that was from, it was from one of the cardiovascular journals, I believe. I was reading it the other day. And so meat plants are definitely more essential than grains and flours and breads. That's for sure. In fact, that's why I stocked up on a ton of meat today. I'm having meat for tonight, man. CJ, what? Don't believe it. That's right. That's right. CJ turned him down. If you want the garbage news website, looks at before it news, they said it was going to be a national federal lockdown 7 weeks ago. Wow. Experienced Linux users could make a Plasma desktop look like Windows 7. Yes, I wrote a science fiction book many years ago. Very cool. Is it called I Don't Like Plasma? All right. If you choose to install Linux, choose a recent distro, something released this year, better support. Yes, I will agree. I use RSS news, no BS on the feeds. There you go. All right. Zuckerberg really wants Facebook in China, so he's bending over backwards for him. Oh, boy. Tried a few distros on the surface, not really straightforward. Stop watching the news and pick up a novel and read it for sake. Yeah, that's right. About Dystopia, did you watch TV shows like Black Mirror or Years and Years? No, I don't actually watch television, so I missed that one. If I could find a Black Mirror DVD at Walmart when I'm picking up my essential items, I'll think about it. Okay, logging into Discord will be a great first step. Well, I mean, just like I said, just create a new account. Small have no creatures here on the moon. Yeah. Several groups like to engage with daily. An app that lets me use Facebook without logging into Facebook. Yeah. Here in Canada, it's the same. Buy online, pick up, but only pay with a Visa card. Yep. I do not recommend telling a crazy person to get alone with his thoughts. Bad idea. Yeah. Vaccine will change your DNA. Watch a DoD video clip on Pastor Tony's channel. It's scary. Would you email that to me, Saddle Ridge? I'd like to check that out. Don't put it here because I won't see it when the stream's over. But if you can email it to me, that'd be great. I mean, the media is feeding false narrative to the public? I know. How dare dare George the Devil Soros? I'm telling you. I was about to read that, how dare the devil go down to Georgia, but you know. Coming Everyone was running a decade ago. I warned a lot of my web friends back then. Yeah. All about hidden agenda for power and control of money. That's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like. Next phone might be a Pine phone. There you go. Ubuntu 2004 is still in beta, so you might wait till the official release before trying any. I don't know. I think the Ubuntu 2004 though are rock solid stable so far. I think all of them will be out. There's even going to be a deepen, like it's not an official flavor, but will be a deepen one. Where's Bigfoot when you need it? Because knowing his hideout would be a blessing. That's right. Well, already tracks you via cameras, so I've heard. That is true. They do track you more with cameras, but they don't have a basic idea who I am because I never use a card when I go in there. So it's the nebulous guy that comes in, always wearing a hat, always in a jacket, and always paying cash. That's what Walmart sees. Yeah, there's a Cinnamon and a Deepin Ubuntu that are not official, but they exist. Time to switch back to a flip phone. Yep. More people die from abortion. Yeah, I think it's hilarious that Cuomo's sitting here going, we will do anything, spend anything to save one human life. Says the guy who's spearheading the abortion clinics. Does this work on phones without internet? Because my phone does not have internet. So it uses Bluetooth to communicate, but presumably it needs to be like a smartphone type thing. So it uses Bluetooth to work, but I doubt it would work on that. I don't know. France, the courts force Amazon to close down to clean up the workplace and assess the risks. Amazon will therefore be closed, but only from 16 to 20. Yeah. Said my garden hose is not essential, so it's not coming until mid-May. You know what? You can say, I'm sorry, the garden hose is essential because, it is essential because I'm using it to water my plants and make my food. Candy bar is essential for a sugar addict, yep. Power supply for a computer, it will be 3 weeks to get it, Amazon says. Oh, God. Louis Rossman showed the female pleasure device was essential. I missed that video. Apparently, alcohol seems essential to some business. Yeah, they closed down a lot of the like gardening centers and things in Michigan, but you can buy the state lottery and liquor and pot. Gotta go. We'll see you later, Mitchell. Have a good one. So do those darn lithium-ion batteries. Yep. All right. Yeah, we're a late show today, but that's all right. I'm okay. We got one section to go, guys. All the alcoholics would go into withdrawal without beer and liquor stores. Yeah. So that remove TV and save money because I don't watch it. If your TV goes bad, you don't know about it for a week or so, then you get TV as unnecessary spendage. Yeah. A lot of mobile hotspots here, and unless you're on tour or something, I wouldn't connect to one. Yeah. People stop farting in public when they stop drinking beer. It's over with the virusy things will be cheap. People will own money, so they'll be selling houses and cars. Yeah. There is a way. I don't have it set up on mine. Pizza Loving Nerds channel has a few other ways. So we're thinking about setting it up on mine. All right. I think let's go ahead and let's go to Sillyville, shall we? I mean, as if the Dystopia news wasn't silly enough, but let's head on over to Sillyville. Welcome back to the weekly news roundup and the Sillyville edition. That's right, folks. We are off to Sillyville. And today, before we dive on, if you want to help support the channel, have a look at the affiliates page, switchedtolinux.com/affiliates. We have links for Amazon shopping, cell phones, grammar checkers, web hosting, VPNs, podcasting, and other things probably coming eventually soon. But let's go ahead and dive on in. All I needed in my life is this Facebook group where everyone pretends to be ants. So everyone comes on over here and they leave us wonderful comments. I'm tired of bringing food to the queen to justify my existence, the poster writes. When does it end? When can I have some of the food I bring home? When will I see the value of my labor? You traitor, reads the top comment. Bite, writes another user. Bite, bite, bite. Someone just peed on the whole family, another post. Rest in peace. Just found out my homie got crushed by a human today. Rip, bro. Another poster says, then 25 replies, various variations of F. Welcome to a group where we all pretend to be ants in an ant colony. Of course, I can't go there because Facebook is blocked in this computer. With over 135,000 members who are, well, pretending to be ants in an ant colony, it's been around since June of last year. Group is one large interconnected network of semi-satirical, semi-reverent Facebook groups centered on loud, fervent. One of the largest is We Pretend. It's 2017/2012 internet. For club, a haven for Club Penguins references troll faces and long-forgotten meme formats. They are all offshoots. We Pretend it's 1453 internet. Oh, today's youth will always be dying of the plague, reads a recent post. Yeah, so if you want to pretend to be an ant, go check out that Facebook post, and you can all pretend to be ants or something. I mean, I guess. Sure. All right. Well, of course, students across the country are forced to use the Google Classroom app for all of their homework, and surprise, they're all rating it as 1. I don't want to do homework during lockdown. Don't get this. This is bad. Horrible, horrible, terrible, rubbish, horrible, glitches, bad. Now, here's the thing. We don't know if these are legitimately bad or if it's just students trolling it or if they just hate the fact they have to do their work on phone. But I have the fundamental question. Why in the world are we forcing all of our kids to have a Google phone application installed on their personal device? No. Can you, like, even in the midst of lockdown, I am not going to sit down and say, we got to do what we can to educate our kids. You know what? Here's a thought. Why don't you send textbooks home and have your kids read them? I mean, it's like, oh my God, let's start coding it. How can you possibly expect the kids to do it? You know what? That's how it started. That's how it all started. All education started at home. Maybe, just maybe, we need to go back and look at some of this stuff rather than giving all of our kids' data to Google. And this is a problematic thing. But anyway, over here in Sillyville, let's see. This needs to be removed. And who's here from that guy on TikTok? Wait, what? So it has a 1.7 out of 5 rating. A few of these guys are rating it 5. Most of them are rating it as 1. What did you expect, students that are forced to download your app to rate the thing as? So that's exciting. And on to our feature story of the day. Apple. Apple is selling a Mac Pro wheel kit for $700. I would like to meet the person who buys this. So of course you get the Mac and it doesn't have like stands or anything. It just sits on the ground. You can pay is it like $300 for feet? Now, I can't grab my computer here, but what I did is I went to the Home Depot and I bought one of the little shelves that's this big. And then I went to the doorknob section, like the handles for your cabinets. I bought 4 little cabinet things and it cost me a grand total of like $10 maybe. And for $10, I built a little stand made out of the doorknob, the door openers for cabinets, and I screwed them into a shelf, and so my computer sits on a shelf that's high off of its surface for $10. But you can spend $300 for an Apple feet kit, or $700 for the wheel kit. FYI, they don't have locks. Now, there was another one that seems a little higher. I mean, look at this. Ooh, they're chrome plated. I really wish I could show you my thing down here because mine are chrome plated too. A chrome plated thing like this thing right here, a chrome plated one of these at Home Depot is $1. It's chrome plated, and you have like 80 styles to choose from at Home Depot. You can go there and get any style you want. You can get multi-varieties. You can get them chrome plated. You get wood ones if you want. If you want to be retro and wood, that 70s Mac Pro look. So, $700. There's 22 comments. This ought to be good. How vain do you have to be to want to spend that much money for a relatively simple set of wheels or feet? Man, Apple is embracing the fashion brand way too much. Apple does say you'll need additional tools. Presumably, they will sell you the official Apple-branded Phillips head screwdriver for $500. Returns Mac to the Apple Service Center for repair. Sorry, this machine had its wheels attached with a non-Apple certified screwdriver. Void warranty. All right, if you don't want to pay their prices, don't buy them. The reality is anyone spending Apple money on a computer like this will either not be bothered, not notice, or not care what the wheels cost. Or maybe they'll just put it on their Apple credit card and not realize how much it charged them. Monitor standalone was $999. That should have been your first clue that Apple's in this to make no holds bar attack against your wallet. Getting one and using it to zip down the steepest hill I can, and it will be filmed, and you can see it on Hold My Feeding Tube at 11. Just ditch Final Cut Pro and use Windows-based video editing software. Here's a thought. Ditch Final Cut Pro and use Kden Live on Linux. Only people coding Mac iOS apps really need it, which a cheap Mac Mini is sufficient. Will the wheels work on the monitor stand too? Suckers will buy anything just because of the name. There are rich people who spend wisely. I cannot imagine a rich person is going to spend $700 for this. It's going to be the guy that wants to look rich. I'm telling you that. Yeah, let's not forget the Apple-branded screws themselves that Apple might sell, given the opportunity. Does more, costs less. It's that simple. Yeah, back in that day. That sort of reminds me of this t-shirt. I'm not going to read that one on the stream, but have fun with it. Apple's very smart. They stick to obscene prices on certain niche products that they don't expect to sell in any meaningful volume. Yeah, I'm telling you. That's Sillyville. That's Sillyville. Let me know your favorite Sillyville article this week. All right. Still go to a hardware store and buy the hose. Yeah, you can buy garden hoses at Walmart. Yeah. More and more I'm seeing app developers who have severe issues in their software and even develop in Linux, and what's more, they get offended if you say there's a problem. Yeah. I've not been to a Walmart in years. Yeah, there should be, like, Home Depots and stuff are still open as well, though. Getting this way with app developers, too. Millennial workforce is adjunct failure. Yeah, some of them are. Humans are weird. These humans in the news excel at it. Feel like an ant when the government raises prices and ads. Ad fees left, right, and center, yeah. Google Classroom is not the greatest. The updates are making it worse. I'm not surprised. Niece has to dress up and then be on a webcam for a Zoom session at a certain time on Monday. Wow, boy. Look puzzled, thinking she's crazy. She's 8. Why does she need the webcam? Yeah, if you can find a webcam right now. Luckily, I have a computer for school and I'm not forced to install an app. There you go. But you got to get dressed, though, right? I mean, you can't show up to school in your underwear, though, right? That'd be bad. 700. I get a gaming laptop designed for purposes install Linux on. Apple fanboys have disposable cash, apparently. That's right. I will not install 1910 because it's not an LTS release. All right. Paying credit cards and thinking everything will be fine in 6 months. I don't know. Have I gone blurry? I don't know if I went blurry or not. Okay. $700 for a wheel, $500 for a screwdriver, yeah. I'm thinking it will be okay after 6 months. My eyes are getting blurry, man. Now, will the Hot Wheels make me pancakes? Probably not. Info sent. All right, thank you. How does one not code a website to work with more browsers than Google Chrome? Because you're only looking at Google Chrome. I don't even look at Google Chrome until the very end. I don't like booting it up. All right. Well, let's go ahead and see if we can't feed a kitty cat. And then we'll get out of here because, man, that was a late news show today. You guys hung in there, though. I'm telling you. Let's go ahead and transition to the kitty cat. Hey, you want some kitty treats? Do you want some kitty treats? Do you? Give it a belly. Give it up. Nope, give it the belly. Gotta give it the belly. Give it up. Oh, yeah. Give it up the belly. All right. Gotta make sure that we're on the camera right, buddy. There you go. All right, you had more earlier today, too, so that's all you're going to get. That's all you got, buddy. That's all you got. That's all you got. All right. Let's see if we got our final comments here. All right. He's going to spend quality time with family, actually, and this thing is eating all my time. Uh-oh. Knew it was coming. Meow. Kitty stole the chair again. Lately when I'm live streaming, I actually use my folding chair instead of the big one. It's more convenient to get the chair back here. And that way the cat can have the chair and I know where he is. And it's easier to get the webcam on him. So, you know, I let him steal it. But I'm stealing it back when we're done. See, because he jumps off and now he's just like, I'm over here now. And kitty cat. All right, guys. Well, if you missed the beginning of the show, I do have a new free ebook out, and it is called Lockdown, and you can get the free ebook there at tlm.li/LD. And if you are not on the Discord server and you would like to be on the Discord server, tlm.li/STLD. So you can use either of those short links. One of those is for the Discord server. One of those is for the book. Feel free to download that book and pass it along wherever you feel like passing it on. No restrictions on that. And there's more information about that in the help file. All right, Anthony, thank you what you are doing. Always look forward to your shows. Well, thank you, Anthony. We should be doing a stream tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Presumably just pulling some random Linux distro out of the air or something like that. But we'll see what happens. And we'll go ahead and probably do that tomorrow unless for whatever reason I stay up way too late. I don't know. Check the channel. Check the channel in the morning. All right, guys. We will catch you guys later. And thanks for hanging out.